We're going to look at some of the transfer stories of the day now, and some deals that are done, others in the offing. David Ornstein, football correspondent for The Athletic, joins us. Hi, David.
Hi, how you doing, guys?
Yeah, good, thanks, David. Thanks. It's worth having a chat about the Jordan Henderson move. You kind of felt in making this move, the trade-off was that was probably it for his England career. Is that fair or not? I mean, there's a few stories suggesting he's had a chat with Gareth Southgate, but there's no way the England manager can give those guarantees, is there?
Yeah, I'm not sure guarantees are possible for Jordan Henderson in this situation or any player, to be honest. Gareth Southgate has shown a lot of loyalty to the likes of Harry Maguire and others who haven't been playing for their clubs. Maybe Calvin Phillips is another instance of that. However, Jordan Henderson's is very different because he's going to the Saudi Pro League, which means that, you're not in Premier League standard training sessions, for example. However, on the flip side, Henderson has, proven track record at international level and club level. Gareth Southgate, I'm sure in the conversations they've had with each other, because don't forget he's England's vice captain, will have known that Jordan Henderson will look after his fitness and he'll try to maintain his level. He's a good influence in the dressing room. So I imagine he will still be under consideration for England duty if he's fit. The Euros are around the corner now, within 12 months. But equally with England's midfield, Jude Bellingham, etc., other players have an opportunity to come to the fore. Jordan Henderson's 33, so he'll know that it's not a guarantee in any circumstances, even if he had stayed at Liverpool. But one thing you've seen with Gareth Southgate is he tends to show more loyalty to players in positions where he needs the numbers. So that may be a factor for Henderson's England aspirations. How much do England need him and his role? Almost irrespective of where he's playing. So no certainties on this one. I'm going to sit on the fence.
Yeah, it's good for both sides, isn't it, though? Because I can't think of another world where Liverpool get £13 million for a 33-year-old footballer.
Yeah, we don't know the exact figures, guys. So we need to respect the fact that it could be a lower initial outlay with add-ons depending on performances, appearances, success. But Liverpool are getting a fee, which is one of the reasons why this took a bit longer, because they didn't want to grant him some nostalgic free exit to the Saudi Pro League. That's their prerogative. And so, I don't think he was going to be figuring as a major part of their midfield plans at this age and stage of his career. And they're entitled to that. So his game time would have been reduced. And Jordan Henderson is going to get a really lucrative deal. He's clearly been convinced by Steven Gerrard. Al Ettifaq get a top player from Europe, and it helps not only that team but the league and its ambitions. There is a lot of controversy around it. He's previously stood up vociferously for LGBTQ plus rights and been an advocate for the gay community. And we know that this is a big issue in Saudi Arabia. So let's see if he speaks on that in due course. But it's a transfer that is now done and dusted, and Liverpool will have to try and continue this process of rebuilding their midfield. They're also going to quite possibly lose Fabinho too.
Well, Romeo Lavia could be coming in from Southampton. It seems they're a little bit apart on the valuation, but signs on it, they'll get the deal done eventually.
It's moving in that direction, but it's not done. So they had an offer in the region of £37 million rejected. What they want is a package worth around £50 million. And when I say package, of course, that could include add-ons to get in that sort of ballpark bracket. And the dialogue continues. There are reports that another offer has either been made or will be made that will take it maybe to around £45 million. And personal terms won't be an issue. So there is some confidence around the situation that Liverpool will get this signing done. However, it's important to add that there is firm interest from Chelsea too. And let's see how they react, because I guess Southampton would like nothing more than a bit of a bidding war. And Chelsea, as they sort of slow in their progress over Moises Caicedo, may turn to Romeo Lavia. One of their sporting directors, Joe Shields, was the man who brought him to Southampton last summer from Manchester City, where he had worked with him previously too. So there are some strong links there. And that's perhaps why Liverpool are trying to move quite quickly with this situation and get him in as soon as they can. But clearly that won't happen before or as they depart for Singapore. And on Fabinho, I reported that the deal was in jeopardy. It had slowed. There was a bit of a stalling in the process and a blockage. That blockage, I think, has possibly been overcome now. We're hearing that it is back on. He is expected to complete that move. He did return to training with Liverpool amid that sort of impasse, very happily acting as a total professional. But I think the wheels are now in motion for it again to Al Ittihad, one of the PIF owned clubs. And that would be for around £40 million. Or euros. It would be another windfall for Liverpool and allow them to reinvest in somebody like Lavia. Let's see if they do any more business, but they do have a lot of options in that midfield. And included in that is Trent Alexander-Arnold, who seems to be converted into a number 6 at club and country level. So busy times at Anfield.
Yeah. We should talk about Kylian Mbappe. It's going to be a very interesting few weeks in his relationship with PSG. I mean, even from the moment the bid came in from Saudi, I thought, he doesn't want to play in Saudi. He's not ready to go there.
23,
they feel, David, that he's already kind of effectively said he's coming to Real Madrid. It's going to be so interesting what the dynamic will be if he does stay at PSG until he gets that move. We've seen the crowd there turn. They turned on Messi towards the end. It's going to be a very interesting few months, I think.
The atmosphere is not good around Mbappe at PSG right now. And it's even more sharp than the Messi example you used because he's French. He was a PSG fan, France international, scored 3 goals in the World Cup final in December. And it soured terribly. So I didn't ever get the sense that Saudi was a move that appealed to him with his ambitions to seemingly play for Real Madrid and compete for the biggest honours in Europe and the Champions League in particular, with the Euros round the corner and Olympics next year as well. It was an offer of epic proportion, reportedly. I'm not sure why they went quite that high. Make of that what you will. Player only has a year to go and PSG would have accepted a much lower offer. And there were some reports that his family were willing to negotiate with the Saudis, but I don't think, by the sounds of it, Mbappe has been. People have said, what about the Premier League? I don't think the numbers would work for anybody in the Premier League with their financial fair play. Some people have suggested maybe Man City, but I'm not aware of them or anybody else really going for him. Of course, they all love him. He's one of the best players in the world, but that doesn't mean they're actively pursuing him. Barcelona, I think, have looked into a bit of a player exchange, but again, to my eyes, not realistic. And that leaves Real Madrid at the table. Do they do the deal now, bring forward what they wanted ideally to do next summer as a free agent? And maybe Mbappe wants to do that because then he takes all the transfer fee pretty much as a signing on bonus. Or do they try and structure something that allows it to happen now, a year early? Because otherwise there is this prospect, if he's not signing a new contract at PSG, that he sits on the bench for an entire season or not even in the matchday squad. I don't think anyone wants this. It's unedifying. And they'll be looking to surely find a solution as soon as possible.
Do you see that potentially as an August the 31st sort of €60 million, something like that deal?
A lot of people have suggested that to me. It goes right down to the end of the window and then finally the resistance on all sides breaks. But I think maybe it would be a higher fee. Don't forget that last time we were in this position with Mbappe, Real Madrid offered, €200 million? But he ended up staying and renewed his contract. I don't think the contract renewal is likely now, but I do think the transfer fee would be much higher than the figure you suggest. And maybe Real Madrid would even want to pay it to show their signing one of the best players in the world. And if not, they'll have to give him the money further down the line. So as always with these things, sort of money talks. But in the case of the Saudi offer, it doesn't seem like it will, because the expectation is not that he will be going there.
David, good to talk to you. Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
A pleasure. Thanks for having
David.
me.
Take care. There's David Ornstein there from The Athletic and talksport.com/transfers. You can go and check that out. With right across that, right until the window slams shut at the end of August. All the deals, all the rumours.
Either way, Mbappe's going to be all right.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
He won't be.
He'll be all right.
He won't be doing bar work
if
in the evening.
If he stays, he gets 60 million quid.
Yeah.
If he goes, he gets probably more. So,
yeah. No, he'll be. Right.
If anyone's worried about him,
Don't
he'll
worry
be all
about
right.
that. Yeah.